Welcome to another episode of the Elevate podcast with Eric. I warmly welcome you to our very first episode for 2026. And today, as we continue with some of the great, insightful elements within sales. If you're new to Elevate, this is a podcast all about sales and selling. It has everything to do with transforming your mindset on the way you action sales in the marketplace. Towards the end of this session, I'm going to make a few announcements which could really be impactful to your selling journey. Hope you will remain with me until the very end. Let's now dive into this topic. A very relevant topic for today, but sometimes unheard of. How many of you have heard of this term sales enablement? It simply refers to actions taken by organizations or individuals, basically salespeople, to enable selling. Today, many salespeople feel sales enablement should be only from the management. And also, organizations feel it should be from the salesperson themselves. But I believe sales enablement is twofold. One, from the organization and from within the salesperson who is actually selling. So before we dive deeper into these two segments, let's quickly explore as to what is sales enablement. On a very high scale, sales enablement focuses on getting the entire organization united as one team and knitting a unified selling approach. By getting the product teams aligned to the right solution to the teething market problems, from getting the marketing teams aligned to the best fit segments and to the right messaging which has to be taken to these segments, while finally enabling sales team to do what they do best, sell. So as we look at aspects on how this has to be aligned, the challenge is not having a sales enablement within an organization or then the salesperson, but it is about how you focus and how you align things towards those elements. And the challenge of not having a sales enablement within an organization is basically the salesperson themselves will have to do their own iteration of the solution, their own marketing message. They will need to focus on finding their own leads under the fit approaches. The salesperson to play the role of marketing research, finding marketing problems or sales problems or the customer problems, trying to find out the best fit customers, mix and match the product to the market needs. And this is totally exhausting. And by the time they try to start selling, I'm sure they are not in a position to sell or in a mood to sell. And this is one reason why many salespeople fail. Sales enablement process, on the other hand, is a collective and directive functionality. The senior management led by the CEO sets direction to the company's vision. Then the product, marketing, and sales teams work hand in hand to formalize one or couple of unified product or products. Marketing aligns the messaging while sales aligns the strategy to sell this vision out there into the market. So some of the key elements within the sales enablement process from the organization end are setting a clear vision of the company, understanding their strengths, and aligning a clear strategy on the segments they want to focus. Number two, it's about understanding the problem with that segment or the problems that segment is facing. And then mix and matching your strength along with those problems to find a solution. In the meanwhile, there is also one important element, which is validation of the problem to these segments through conversations one-to-one or to those segments through networking and R&D. And number four is develop a solution that can cater to the focus areas of these segments. Then marketing comes up with the right marketing messaging focused on these segments. Basically, and then they help identify the best fit customer personas and align them. Finally, enable the sales team with the right tools such as marketing materials, social media awareness, your web-based solutions or web should be aligned to them. And finally, install a strong CRM platform to track the funnel and provide a clear insight to the sales operation. As stated, the sales enablement process initiated by the organization is prime. But there is also an extended version where the salesperson needs to enable himself. Some of the key elements in that would be understanding his or her own personal strengths and weaknesses in terms of skill sets, learn and grow and improve on those skill sets required for effective selling, basically negotiation skills, communication skills, and maybe also pursue the management to attend trainings and request trainings in areas where they are weak, and understand the market landscape for the given segment by doing research by themselves. Basically, a salesperson needs to be present within the market segments, having conversations with the customers to understand their pain points and troubles. And most importantly, it is also important that they understand the buying process, the buying sentiments of the customers, and align their sales process in accordance to that buying process. And only when both of them match can they progress towards an impactful outcome. And finally, as I stated, building solid relationships with customers is utmost important. So when you have cleared all these internal hurdles that draws you back and hold you from being the best potential version of yourself as a salesperson out there in the market, then your mind share is clear to just focus on the customer problems, the frictions they might be having, to match the best fit solutions of your customers to generate impactful results. You need to remember one thing. When you enter into the customer world, you will also be required to remove the friction they have in order to enable a smooth process and flow to get the outcome you expect from the customer, which is closing a sale. So that is why sales enablement strategy becomes essential and vital to any organization and salesperson. I'm sure this small insightful session would have opened your eyes to see the most important alignments which needs to be in place as you send out your salesperson into the marketplace. Until we meet again on another episode of the Elevate podcast with Eric, take care and stay safe. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I hope this episode would have helped you pause, reflect, and rethink. That is really important as you look forward to enable your sales team out there in the marketplace. I'd love to hear from you, your thoughts, your questions, or challenges you might have faced, your stories. I hope you will reach out to me through my LinkedIn page and also by emailing to the following email address. And please feel free to call me or drop me a text on WhatsApp. Your feedback shapes this podcast. Until we catch again next time, take care.